are going to lose that goal and start from scratch. But maybe they can get it back off the kickoff, go straight into their corner. And Trini will beat Marv. Nyx is already up. Little fake. Kind of leave Chef in a 1v1. OB straight to the corner. Chef might be a little awkward. It's very awkward, but no one's there. They're respecting the Owls like crazy. Trini trying to get a mid, but great clear by Chef into the other half. Oh my god, it's a shot by Nyx. Top left corner. What a shot.
Really good pressure by Marv. He gets a good 50 mid. Nyx is there to slot at top left to put the Owls up by 1. I want to see how Lynx react if they pull off any kickoff strats in particular. Straight into their corner. Chef gets a cut pop, follows it up, gets a touch mid. No one's there, however, so King gets a free clear right. Straight to Obi. Obi straight mid, plays the double, good cut by Nyx. Marv gets a good pop over last. It's a 3v1. Early commit.
Yeah.
Chef, free shot, 2-0.
I mean, Nyx isn't even their third. He's an E-sub, and he's already making a huge impact. Great beat to a mid pass to Chef, and the Owls have completely turned the game around from what we saw in Game 1, already up 2-0. Now, a kickoff. It goes straight up. Nyx is there again. A little awkward touch, but another pass down to Chef. It might be bottom right, but OB will be there. Marv trying to cut. A little back pass. Owls are 0 boosts. Another back pass. Wow, there's a lot of backwards touches these games. And Chef just gets the fake low and scores a third for the Owls.
It's a lot of missed touches coming out of Lynx. One back pass after another. Chef gets a good fake. Some people might call it a whiff. I would call it a fake because that's just how smart Chef truly is. I was up 3-0, barely a minute in. The complete opposite of what we saw in Game 1, where in Game 1 we saw teams going back and forth, but now it just seems that Owls have all the pressure. Marv gets a good center mid. King with a good clear. It's straight to Chef. What can he do? He puts it wide, but the pressure still maintains.
Yeah, Lynx need to find an answer quick because Owls have shown as a completely different team so far, but now they do have a bit of pressure. Going into their corner, no one from the Lynx is there. Trini challenges, going maybe mid. Nyx is already up, gets a touch. Ditto gets a demo in 1. It's a 2v3 for a second, but it's a good clear. OB might have a play, gets bumped, and Chef beats 1 and might go straight down mid. Chef is still there, but OB, great clear into the corner.
Good clear by King. Straight to Ditto in Owl's corner. What can he do? Can he put him mid? Can't get past Nyx. As you did say earlier, Nyx is an E-sub, but it looks like as if he's been playing with Owls for quite some time. King gets a good clear to the left. Chef is there, intercepts it, puts it back mid. Obi's up, can't get the touch. Nyx is there, good control by Nyx, gets a good touch, goes for the bump. Chef around last.
My God. I mean, Nyx is just the playmaker right now. He gets a great touch right out, and let's not discredit Chef here. Great pop around the last defender to put the Owls 4 up before half the game is even over. I mean, Owls look like they shouldn't even be in this play-in match right now the way they're playing. But off kickoff, it might be a little dangerous, but Chef gets it out. 1 more to beat over Trini. Ditto's last back with 0 boost. He needs to make a play here. Good clear out. The Nyx is there. A little fake for Marv. It might be backboard. Marv going for the double tap. Oh my God. What a shot from Marv.
This is what I've been expecting from Marv all this time. I've seen his clips before. I've seen him play. He's hit these shots every single day. He pulls it out, puts Owls up by 5. It seems Lynx needs a miracle for this comeback. Or do they take this game, brush it off, and focus on the next?
I mean, I don't know what happened. Maybe the tech got to him like SSG versus Vitality. But the least they can do is keep fighting throughout this game. Maybe put some goals on the board and just rebuild for game 2 because this is not looking good for them right now. Especially in the corner, they can't get it out. But OB2M does get a flick over Marv into the wall. Ditto is there, will beat. Nyx is there, misses. Trini a little out of position, and now it's going to be a counterattack for the Owls. Chef just puts it on, and a whiff, but saved by Obi. And Nyx is backwards, hits it to the wall, bounces up. Marv is there, Maybe another shot. He hits it a little high. Oh, and Chef hits it to the corner.
Here goes Ditto, gets a good counter. Over last. Ditto has a free center mid. Hooks the shot. No one's there. King's there. Fakes for Obi. Obi controls. Plays it low. Gets it past one. And he brings one back for Lynx. Is there hope for this roster to bring back game one?
I mean, you'll take the goal anyway. You can get it. But there doesn't seem like a chance for the Lynx right now. They need 4 goals in 90 seconds. It's a lot to ask, but maybe they can do it. Ditto on the wall, but Obi goes before him. A little hit out mid. Trini's there. Popped the back wall, but he backflips. Nyx gets a little touch out. Ditto's there, but Chef is already met him at the net. Maybe another touch could be a goal, but a little too soft. Trini kind of takes the save away from OB, but a save is a save. Banks it to the wall. Nyx is still there. Gets it into the corner. Ditto will be there. Bumps Ditto. Marv off the wall. Nyx back to Chef. Chef fakes 2, but kind of with his touch. Bumps Ditto. Maybe a shot from the Owls, but all of them are back. And Nyx whiffed a little bit. Marv whiffed a little bit. And OB top bins only on the open net.
It seems like there was a little bit of miscommunication out of the Owls, but good things is that they're up by 3 still. So no pressure on Owls, but they do have to make sure that they're well communicated. So this series, this game in particular, doesn't leave their hands, I would say. Straight up to Chef. It seems that Nyx is lagging.
Wow.
Ditto scores one. Yep, just as we've seen there. Nyx has lost connection, in fact. However, the game will resume.
Oh, never mind. We will get a pause, a tech pause.
Who said that?
Q. That could have been very bad for Owls if they didn't pause that. It's actually looking kind of bad. They've let up 3 goals in 2 minutes. So hopefully they can hold this lead going back, starting the game once again. And Owl, actually no, Lynx seem to win a kickoff. Obi is there. Kind of bad touch, but still in the corner. Still a little bit of pressure. Chef gets it over one. Trini meets him there. Marv is on the back wall. A little slam. Obi misses. Marv gets a touch out. Trini is there. Maybe Obi still upfield, but Nyx beats him. Right to Ditto. Little double jump shot's not going to be strong enough. I mean, Lynx, you barely have time. You got to put some better shots up.
Chef gets it over last. Ditto is there. He has to get it over Chef. Chef gets to 50. However, at 50, probably already killed all the time. Lynx lose game 1. Owls had a strong showing, I would say. It got a little shaky towards the end. However, they still come out on top.
Right before this game started, I was going to talk about how I really wanted to see a lot from Chef, considering he came down from Delta to play on Omega. So I'm expecting a star performance. And I mean, that's what I got. He dropped a hat trick, pretty much scored every pass he got, and was one of the big reasons that Owls took this, close to dominant win until they let Lynx score 3 goals. But into the next game, I would say Owls still do have the momentum.
Although he might not be the player with the most score in the game, I would say the most impactful player so far has been Nyx indeed. He has set up a lot of these goals with either passes or creating pressure. In my eyes, he's been performing the best so far.
Yeah, definitely. Game 1 was all on him. Kudos to Nyx coming in as an E-sub and seeming like he's had 10 years of chemistry with the Owls, dropping dime after dime. Into the next game, we'll see if the Owls can keep up that same level of dominance they showed in the first half of that game. And we'll see if Lynx will be able to respond.
Into game 2, Owls up 1-0. See if Lynx have anything up to sleeve on this kickoff. Straight into the Owls corner. Chef is there with 100. Ditto's there making pressure though. Chef gets an awkward touch mid. There should be a defender back good. But right to King. King gets a good touch. Obi keeps the pressure up. Beats one. Gets the pass mid. A little unexpected. Teammates weren't expecting that. Chef gets beat in the corner by Ditto. Shadow gets dunked. Marv is there, however. Gets a good clear. Chef follows up. Straight into the Lynx corner. Double commit out of Lynx. Gets a free shot from Marv. Chef going for the demo. It's 1-0.
I think the Lynx are being a little too hesitant. You see the double commit there is definitely the reason they got scored on. And then Chef going for the bump disturbs the goalie. And it's a good play from Owls, but I don't think Lynx should have lost pressure there, especially after kickoff. But now, under this kickoff, Shadow will win that. Chef is already up. Kind of use all the boosts to, get more boosts. But Marv is there. Ditto, can he beat Nix? And this is a Rule 1 in the corner. This is, wow. It's crazy. He's turned into a 2v2 now. Marv trying to get him mid. Ooh, this is not good. There's nobody back for Owls. And Obi might have an open net. And he fakes for Ditto. And it works. Oh my god, Lynx tie up the game 1-1.
Some might call it a fake, some might call it a misflip. Ditto, however, is there for the follow-up. Ties it up for Lynx. Although it was a 2v2, we're back to 3v3. See how this kickoff takes place now. Good kickoff, straight to Marv. Marv gets a one touch out, straight to Chef. Chef is up, blocked by Ditto.
I think Trini should have controlled that, but he's a fake on Nix. Obi might beat Marv there once again. Lynx score off a tactical fake, you could call it, and take the lead very quickly. I mean, it was almost a good play, the pass mid from Marv into Chef, but diving and getting that 50 is pretty risky. So now Lynx take the lead, but now it goes right to the corner. Marv is going to get that corner and try to hit it mid. But Trini's already up, beats Chef, and now it's just instantly the Lynx have pressure once again. It's crazy. Oh my.
Here goes Lynx. Blocked by Chef. Marv is up. Double commit out of Lynx again. Although Lynx do have all the pressure. Nix gets it up one. Past one. Good aerial. No one's there for the follow-up. King gets a good clear. Chef is there. Double commit out of Owls this time. Obi is there. Gets a good dunk. Chef will not take the corner. Leaves it for Marv. Marv off the wall. One mid. Goes for the reset. Leaves it. No one follows up though. It seems that Owls are playing further apart from each other than they did in game one.
Yeah, it's like the Owls have lost all of their confidence for some reason. Before, they were so strong offensively, but as I say that, almost put in front of the net. Good recovery by Obi to get back and save his team, but he's on 0 boost. Chef's going to challenge. Gets it right back in the corner. There's almost nobody back, but Trini does beat Chef. Nix is there. A little awkward touch, but Marv clears it. And now there's no one there, but he gets a shot around one. Marv barely misses the bump, and Trini gets a save on 0 boost. But now it might just be pitched in the net. What a save by OB.
Here goes Ditto. Clears the ball by beating Chef. Marv is there. Gets a good dunk. Chef fakes Obi. Gets bumped by Obi, however. Shot up. Good clear by Owls. It seems that Lynx is now holding all the pressure again. Chef gets a good dunk. Straight into King. Marv, what can he do? Gets faked. It's floating straight in front of the Owls net. One player's up, and it's 3-1.
I mean, once again, these teams are like switching positions every game. First game, Lynx were dominating. Second game, Owls dominated. And now, second game, Lynx are just, I don't want to sound weird. They're having their way with the Owls right now. They're just beating into every ball. They look a lot more confident in what a redirect. Ditto might be there, read it. A little confident with that jump. Nix gets the save. Ditto is in the corner. That might just be in. Holy, almost very close angle. Now Marv in the corner, hoping to get this ball out. Obi will meet him there. Good beat, good recovery. A mid pass, but no one is there. You gotta expect that, guys. Come on. And oh, wow, 4-1 Lynx. This game is crazy.
It seems the complete opposite turn from game one. Marv couldn't quite get the clear. Ditto reads the miss. Puts Lynx up by 3. It seems the opposite of game one. However, can Owls somehow bring this game back? Obi gets a good clear. Lynx is there. Straight into the corner, however, King gets a good demo on Chef. Ditto. Puts it straight mid. No one's there, however. A sigh of relief for the Owls.
Yeah, I mean, Owls are going to need something fast if they want to stay in this game. They're almost in the same position as the Lynx, being down 5-1 with a minute left. But now 50 from Trini gets it mid. Marv is there. Calls the Lynx have to go back. Obi turns for the boost instead of the ball. It might be open, but Trini gets a good recovery to block Marv. Not trying to get it clear downfield. And it's just knocked away by Chef into the corner. Ditto's going to be first to the backboard. Good clear by Chef, but the Lynx are just waiting for the ball to come to them. Now, a little shot at net gives Marv the Owls free possession, but a dunk by Trini. Might get it mid again, and Ditto is there, but opts to go for the wall instead of taking a shot. And a little whiff, and Owls might lose pressure, but no. Trini will beat Chef, and I mean, this ball has been in the Owls' side for quite some time. Ditto hits a soft touch. Gets past one. One more to beat. Off to the backboard. Trini is there for the shot. It is 5-1 Lynx in game 2.
I mean, what a pass from Ditto. Fakes one, flicks over one, puts it right mid straight for King himself. Lynx up by 4 now. I still believe Owls can make it back, but it's kind of hard considering such little time they have left. Marv did had a good chance earlier, but it was cut off in time by a Lynx player. However, this ball straight into the corner. Chef is following. Ditto gets there first. No boost for Shadow. Ditto gets a good dunk. Straight into free space. Chef clears it downfield, however. King puts it back up. Beats Nyx. Double commit out of Lynx, however. Good clear by Ditto. Lynx end up taking game 2, and kind of in the same fashion as Owls took game 1. However, Lynx didn't let go of the gas pedal like Owls did.
I mean, I'm just complete and utter dominance we saw from the Lynx this game. What a team effort, really. Honestly, if I had to give a player of the match, it probably would be Obi, but barely. Because the entire Lynx squad was just linking up left and right. They all play equally as great. Got the dominant win, showing the Owls that they're not going out without a fight. And I mean, I don't know what happened to the Owls. They just turned down the speed, really.
It did appear so that Owls did. They didn't maintain the same speed and pressure they did in game 1. Maybe something from Nick's games disconnecting. It might be something from that. But here in Nature League, there's really no valid excuses if your team falls off. Heading into game 3, both teams in my opinion seem more even. However, just off of game 2, Lynx do have the upper hand in my opinion.
Yeah, now off this kickoff, the Owls trying to regroup, reprocess, and just forget about last game and go into this game 3 strong. Pretty good kickoff instead of going to the Lynx half. But Ditto actually beat and erased Chef to the boost. Might be mid, but Obi, a good clear right to Chef in space. But he has no boost. He has to clear it away right to Ditto. But now Ditto clears it away right to Marv, and Marv clears it away right to Trini. Playing tennis over here, guys. Let's take some control over the ball. And just a bang to the sidewall that might be mid. It's going to be a hard read for the Lynx. But no one on the Owls is going. But it doesn't matter to Marv. Marv just says, I'll do it all myself.
Marv sets himself up. Ditto, not the best clear. Marv is there to get the rebound. Puts it past Trini. Owls go up game 3. We saw this before in previous games. Can Owls maintain this lead, or will they crumble?
And now, Owls up 1-0. Lynx looking a little shaken after that one. But Obi's a good clear, as I say that. Good aerial. Ditto trying to rush in, but Nick still has a little bit of control. Tries to get it clear, but it's on 0. Trini will dive. Maybe look for a bump, but Chef is just there. No one on the Lynx dares the challenge. A little awkward touch. Good bump by Chef to give Mark the ball. It might be open, but kind of just a little love tap to Trini. Might take a little bit of control. Good dive by Nyx. A good 50 by Ditto, and now the ball will be rolling up the wall. Obi goes for a pinch. Might be a little bit of a one-to-one thing. If there's a round, he does. In his bottom left corner, Dragon King tying up the game.
Obi gets a good hit past one. Gets a good shot past 2. Chef wasn't there in time. Lynx tie up the game, tied it in series in game three. Here we go off the kickoff. Straight into the Owls corner. They get bumped off, so not the quite pressure they wanted. However, Trini gets a good mid, gets a good touch, straight to Obi to make it 2-1.
Lynx are turning up the firepower. Trini just goes for a soft touch. He sees the Owls player trying to play the bang or the high, and he just keeps it low, gets it mid, and gives the Lynx the lead. And now Owls will be scraping to try to tie this game and take the lead back. Straight into the corner, Marv on 100. Not the greatest touch, but Trini just passes it right to Owls. And then Obi, good back pass, pop from Ditto, double commit from Owls to keep it out the net. Chef is low on boost, but fakes one. Gets a good 50. He's going to get demoed by Trini. But that was Marv. Now Chef is here, trying to get a 50. Now he's on 0. Has to go back. Nix is going to come up. Lynx bang it to the wall. Nick is awkward. Marv gets one, beats 2. It's a bit of a 2v1. Chef is just going to opt to shoot it. And I wouldn't say that was the best decision there.
As I would say, I would always try to maintain the possession rather than releasing a shot right away to get the best opportunity. Boom, right back downfield. Marv doesn't get the touch he wants. Gets a pop over one, but pops it over Nix in the end. Straight into the other side. Will an Owls player be putting a hand up? Marv turns around, gets a good dunk. Trini gets a good hit out, but Chef is there. Straight into the corner to Marv. A whiff from Ditto. Obi. Here we go. Like I said, maintain the pressure, get a good 50, and it's a straight good clear by Trini. Right into backboard. Chef has no boost. Doesn't quite make contact with the ball. Pass Nix, but Marv is there for the save.
That was a little close for the Owls. If that went in, that would have absolutely destroyed their morale, but luckily they keep it out. But the Lynx are keeping the pressure with all of the Owls in the net right now. Chef gets a decent 50 enough to get in their corner. Nix is there to the backboard. Ditto should be there. Interesting touch, but no one on the Owls wants to capitalize on that. Chef kind of banging into the backboard, getting one demo. Marv gets it. It's mid. Nix is there for the shot. A little bouncer, though. I mean, before he was putting up better shots than this, but it might be going straight down to Nix right now. Off the post, barely from Chef's pass, but Chef is still there. Goes trying to put it in. Off the post, Marv is there to finish. And Obi, the Lynx somehow keep this out after the barrage of shots from the Owls. This is insane.
If you're an Owls fan, this is quite the unlucky sequence of events. If you're a Lynx fan, you're kind of on the edge of your seat here. Good dunk by Marv. Marv keeps the pressure in. Nix is up. Gets a good touch. No one's back. And it's 2-2. Tied in game 3.
I mean, pre-flip from Nix. Just enough power to get it over last. Chef looking to steal that goal, but we give Nix his props for that good shot to tie up the game and keep the Owls in this one with 1:24 left. Now, good 50 for the Owls, but Nix just opts to clear it away. It'd be a hard control off the wall like that, but I mean, you still try. Obi in the corner, out mid, kind of high. Marv not the best touch, but Trini's on 0 boost last, still makes a good play. Obi to the corner. Marv is there, maybe top shelf. Close, good save by Trini to keep them alive. Nix is up now, beats Trini back into the corner, but Ditto will be there to control. Gets the 100, and late peak, Obi tries to pass it to Obi a little too hard. And now the Owls will have possession, but no, it's a bad touch from Chef. And now Nix is awkward. Will Lynx be able to get there? No. Nix just clears it back.
Lynx did have a good set of pressure. However, Marv is here in the corner creating chaos. Ditto gets a good touch past Marv. However, misses the clear. Can an Owls player capitalize on this? Chef, 1v1 by Trini, former Delta player. Gets a good 50. Tries to put it past one. Good pinch clear out of Lynx. Gets rid of all the pressure that Owls once had. Nix gets a good touch to Chef. Chef leads it for Nix, but good demo by Ditto. Marv is there, however. Gets it past one. Off the corner read. Chef is there. However, good clear by Lynx. Nix needs to get a touch on this. Can't let any Lynx player get a decent shot. Good challenge by Nix into overtime.
We have overtime in game 3. It was almost looking a little scary for Owls there, but Ditto so happens to backflip before taking the shot. And now the ball is bouncing. Obi will get a touch, maybe go for another. Tries to get it mid, but the Owls will be there King Tree is mid. There's nobody in net. He gets a flick over one. It might be in. Barely off from Obi. Trying to get it mid still, but at this point, 0 boost. Not much you can do. Almost triple commit from the Owls. Wow. Trini trying to keep this in. No one on the Owls is challenging. Barely saved from Chef. Ditto gonna try to keep the pressure alive. Gets to the backboard. Marv will meet him there. Over to Chef. Chef wants the boost though. Trini, kind of an awkward touch, gives Marv a free save. But now, Lynx are still keeping the pressure. They've had it for all 40 seconds of this overtime so far.
Trini gets a good dunk on top of Nick's. Chef, good clear into the corner. Obi is a good interception by Chef. He's really putting the work in to get these balls cleared. Marv, awkward touch. Good beat by Ditto. Chef is low boost. Dodges the bump. Gets a good hit out. Trini is there, however, keeping the pressure up. Owls are being suffocated right now. However, Marv, not the best clear, but it is out. Chef gets a beat over one. Ditto. Good clear by Ditto. Can Obi put this mid? He does. No one's there. Straight to Marv. Marv straight to backboard. Trini has to get a touch here. Doesn't. Miss. Chef miss. Nix has to maintain composure here. Over one. Obi puts it back mid, but no one is there. Marv gets a good clear. It might be in. Off the post.
Ooh.
Off the crossbar. Chef can't put it past.
Wow. Really going back to what you said, if you're an Owls fan, you are devastated right now. So many chances and no goals. But now Lynx get an instant clear. Whiff from Nyx. But Chef is there to clean it up. Now it's to Marv. 2 to beat. This is in 0 beaten. Now, Ditto, good clear to the corner. Try to get over Chef, but Chef is there. Trying to keep pressure. Nyx leaving. Chef hits it to the corner. But Trini has to clear. Maybe to Obi. A little fake, but now it's just a Nyx possession. Good demo. Ditto was the clear. It might be a 2v1. And Obi misses the last demo, but Ditto's there. Off the post. Nyx, great pop, great save. Giving the Owls some time to reconnect after the insanity that's going on in the midfield right now. Marv trying to get an aerial, but shut down by Obi instantly. Chef, great 50. Ditto will be a little awkward with 0 boost, but Chef, a little awkward. Nyx, bad shot, and now the Owls might lose pressure, but Marv still gets it. This could be good for the Owls, but Marv trying to solo play, I guess, and Owls have lost pressure.
Back into the Owls corner. Next gets a good clear out. Can Chef feed him to the ball? No, he can't. Shadow is up. Can't get the hit. Free shot for Lynx. Chef is there. Chef gets a good boom straight into the Lynx net. Double commit. It works out. Both players get a touch. Ditto past one. Obi straight shot into net. Marv is there. Gets a good touch. Back out mid. Chef gets a good clear. He follows up. Ditto has no boost. Collects the corner. Off the wall. Tries to play the 50. Marv is there. Good interception by Marv. Back in the corner by Trini. It seems that now Owls have flipped the switch. They have all the pressure. Chef intercepted by Obi, however.
Obi a little awkward trying to get control. Marv will get the 50. Try to get the corner, but nothing's there. Chef a little too high off the redirect. Nyx missing the ball, taking for Chef. The Owls have so much pressure right now, and it might be a shot top left, but barely high off the backboard. But Chef gets the Lynx boost again. This is bad, but the Lynx seem to be breaking through right now. It's back in the Owls corner, but Nyx hits it out, makes Ditto leave, but now all the Owls are 0 boost. Trini 50s too, but now Nyx collects the mid, keeping pressure. Obi's there, a little double commit again, somehow ends up as a clear. Ditto trying to beat Marv. Fake, but no one on the Lynx is going to be there. They're too scared to go. In this 4-minute overtime, man, this is quite the game we have going on. Wait, pass to Obi. Try to beat Marv. Marv reads the flip, and Trini's just there somehow. Bump. A little accidental, maybe. And they bumped each other. The Owls bumped each other, but Ditto kind of just pops it to the corner. Right now, neither of these teams are getting any pressure. It's just back and forth, but there are not enough shots on net. There's not enough offense being played right now.
This is the Rocket League I love to see. When no teams really have that pressure, we just see it go back and forth, so you really can't really predict what is truly going to happen. Nyx gets a good pop over one, gets a good dunk. Chef is there, gets a good dunk. Can Nyx get a good bump? He cannot. Nyx is still there, however. Marv, shot! And it's 3-2, 5-minute overtime. 2 games of Rocket League played in 1. Marv Definitely the clutch MVP this game.
I mean, that must have been so nerve wracking for both teams. Such a long overtime. And not a great way to end it from the Lynx. Great way to end it from the Owls after coming off a loss. They take the lead in the series 2-1, and Marv dropping 800 points. I mean, that's some great work from Marv there.
As I did say too, Marv has been the MVP of this game so far in game three. Gets four saves, two goals, one of them being the overtime winner, creating all that pressure with seven shots. He has the same amount of shots as two people combined on the Lynx side.
And I thought Lynx they looked good for majority of the game, but just so late into it, they got a little too overwhelmed near the end, and that would eventually cause their downfall and gave Owls the win. But after such a close game, now this game four could really go either way, but it is make or break for the Lynx. Going down 3-1 would be terrible.
And it is a best of seven, so I believe there is timeouts. If I were Lynx and if they lost this game, I would definitely call a timeout. Don't want to be down two games in a row with still having your timeout. Chef gets good pressure. Ditto is there, gets a good clear. Straight to Marv, however. Marv up the wall. He has boost to play with this. Puts it straight mid. Tries to play the dunk. Not enough boost. Chef gets the fake and Marv makes it 1-0.
I think it's what you expect to see in Omega. A little backflip from Trini and makes him super awkward. No one's expecting that from either team. It just kind of floats in and lets Marv get another goal. But now off the kickoff, Ditto, pretty good. Getting the mid, maybe trying to get it mid to his teammate, but a little too weak. And just blocked away from Chef. Now Obi's kind of in a 1v3. He needs to keep composure. And that's an insane dive. It almost works. It's going to be top right. Wow, that was a good effort, but just a banger from Marv to put the Owls up 2-0.
Marv gets a good shot, places it top right, unsavable for these Lynx players. Up 2-0 in game 4. This is what Owls needed. They needed this switch. They couldn't really keep playing how they played in game 2. However, Ditto gets a good touchdown to backboard. Can't really get the double. However, his teammate's there. Good interception by Marv. Chef, zero boost. However, gets the ball fully into the Lynx corner. Chef is still going. Marv puts the ball mid. No one is really there. Not a good ball to go either way. Chef gets a good touch out mid. Good touch over one. Good demo by Ditto there. Obi puts on the pressure. Ditto, it seems that he's relieving Lynx from this pressure with all his demos. However, Owls are still knocking on the door.
Yeah, it's been a very defensive game from Lynx. The only times you really see them on offense is off the kickoffs. And then after that, the Owls have just kept all pressure. A little bit from Mark there might give Lynx their first look at offense. Chef hits it back to the corner, but Obi will be there. A little soft touch makes easy save for him. Absolute routine, but Trini gets a touch over one. It's a touch over Chef. It is barely off the post. And Ditto tries to dive, but it's no use. And so close for the Lynx getting their first goal, just for their hearts to be crushed because of the post. And now Owls have pressure. Big Marv diving, and Lynx needs to make the touch to keep this in. A little questionable, but now out to Dragon King, but he hits it too hard. That was a great pass. And now Lynx are going to try to keep that pressure, but Owls are going to say no. It's been in Lynx's side for a little bit here. Trini with the clear, but no one on Lynx is there. Ditto somehow gets a touch. Obi might be able to get a beat, and there might not be anyone on the Owls' back. Great pass, and Trini backflips, but it's saved by Nyx again, and Lynx are getting so close.
Gets a good 50 by Nyx. Nyx is still going. Gets it passed over one. All three Lynx players are back, however. Marv already up. Ditto. Good challenge. Good pace. Chef right back into the corner. Trini off the sidewall. The pace of this game is indeed speeding up. However, can all the Omega players handle it? Obi, however, seems like he can handle it. brings back a goal for Lynx, only down by one now. This is definitely winnable from the Lynx end.
Chef maybe pushed up a little too far, got caught on the front post, and gives the Lynx an open net. That's just what they need. They have a little under half the game to tie this, but off the kickoff, it's just pinched straight in. It's like the goal never happened. Shadow with the absolute dunk of a lifetime off the kickoff. Dusts Obi, and I mean, just erase that goal they just got.
Lynx back into the predicament that they found themselves in earlier. Owls up by two. Chef right back into the Lynx corner. Owls are not letting Lynx maintain any pressure at all. As I see that, Ditto gets a good clear over one. Only two to beat. Gets a good pass mid. Obi brings back the goal. It seems that Obi's not going down without a fight. Neither is Ditto. All of Lynx putting their blood, sweat, and tears into this game brings it back one.
Owls are really having trouble with that front post right now. It's the second goal they've given up, pushing up a little too far. But now Lynx right back where they started, need one goal to tie this up, and maybe a shot, but a little too wide from Obi. Trying to keep the pressure, gets one over Chef. Trini's there, a little miss. Maybe decent shot, but double commit save all the way out. Did a little hard touch. Might be able to shoot it, but no, he gets met before he can get it off. Trini, another whiff. I really need to see Trini start making some plays here. He's been a little off this game, I would say. A lot of whiffs from him, but maybe, hopefully, he can help his team win this game. And now Ditto is taking it, keeping the pressure. A little whiff from him. Owls will get the ball back. Big touch from Marv, 1-0. Still staying on it, gets a demo. Maybe needs to open for Shep, but he misses, and Lynx just quarterback.
Nix gets a good hit into the corner. Gets dunked away by Trini. Ditto is there. Good interception by Marv. Obi is awkward. Straight into Chef. Good demo by Marv. Chef can't get the double. Marv is there for the follow-up. Can't put it on target. Lynx survive. Nix
Wow.
straight into their net. Nix has 250s go straight into the Lynx's net. It seems that he's just bigger. Lynx didn't hit the gym. He puts
Yeah.
Owls back up by two.
Every time the Lynx score, Knicks just has an answer, whether that be 5 seconds after or 5 minutes. I mean, now the Lynx are basically just back down 2-0. But this time, only with a minute left, they really need to start putting on some pressure if they want to survive and not go down 3-1. Out to Obi, gets a touch, but Knicks, I mean, he's just dunking everybody this game. Maybe past Obi with the redirect possibility, and it's barely off, and it gets to 50. Trini is there to give them in a one goal shot with 37 seconds.
It seems that Ditto would have confused Chef there on the goal line. So Trini does capitalize on it. 1 goal game, 37 seconds left. Owls need to make sure they get possession off this kickoff. Straight into the back right. Marv gets a good beat over one. However, good demo. Chef has 0 boost. Nick spawns ball side. It's a little awkward. Gets a good clear. Obi back mid. Can Ditto turn up? Chef right into Ditto. However, barely over him. Trini doesn't get the best touch. Obi fakes. So does Ditto. Owls, they need to keep possession of the ball. They don't need the goal. They need to hold on to the ball. If they try to attack, they might overextend. Marv gets a good clear. King Trini is there, however. No Lynx player is there. Whisked by
Oh,
Ditto. Marv kills the ball. Owls up 3-1.
the Owls are now on triple match points. This is not good for the Lynx. They had so much pressure near the end of the game, but then that last play, 2 whiffs from both the Lynx players, and then it just flies past them both with a second left and ends up losing the game. And this is the Knicks we saw, might I bring up, from game one. But this time he wasn't passing, he was scoring with 2 dunks to keep the Lynx down by 2 for majority of the game. It was a great game from him. Definitely player of the match there.
I would agree on to that. Knicks definitely deserves that MVP of this game. 2 times Obi brought back the game within 1 goal, and 2 times Knicks did respond.
And I know the Lynx are better than this. They took us to 5. So I know this team. I know Trini is not playing to the best of his ability, but his team needs him right now. Down 3-1, they have to pull a LeBron if they want this 7th seed. All right, this is going to be a very big game for the Lynx, the biggest game even, because if they lose, they will be playing the winner of the Cheetahs and Kangaroos. And now off kickoff, pretty equal, but now it goes out to Obi. Trini misses the boost. Obi's gonna try to follow up with knowing that his teammates are there. And the Lynx are already starting off the game, both 0 boost, but Trini picks up the corner and just clears it. But it gets a dunk, so it makes up for it. Obi is there, beats one. Chef might be a little awkward. No, he's not. He gets a great clear. Marv backflips. Trini's on 0. And he misses the boost. Marv gets it mid. Chef might be there, but no. Obi will beat him.
I mean, I really expected Lynx to call a timeout. They need to ice up the Owls, but it does seem like they don't need the timeout. They don't want it necessarily, but this might hurt them in the end since all the pressure is from Owls. Marv plays the touch, dunks one. Nyx gets a free backboard. Can he get the double? Yes, he can. Puts up Owls by 1. Amazing double by Nyx.
He deserves that. Great read from the backboard from Nyx, putting up the Owls by 1 goal in one of the most important games of the series. I think Lynx definitely should have called that timeout because they might not get a chance to use it at this point. Nyx now up. Little awkward touch going back. Ditto's there for the clear, but Marvin's all the way back. But he gets an awkward jump, and Ditto just clears it into the right side of the net to tie up the game.
Unfortunate pinch by Nyx. However, Ditto slots that perfectly behind Marv. Some might say it was savable. Some might say it was a perfect place shot. Lynx bring back the game all tied up with only more than a minute played into Game 5. Ditto maintains the pressure, gets a good beat. However, double commit out of Owls, but it does end up working. Trini gets gets dunk over 1, pop over 1, beat over 1. They put Lynx up by 1 into Game 5. It seems that they found new life so far.
This is the Trini I've been expecting all series. He beats one, beats the last in the net, gives Lynx the lead. And now I know the Lynx are feeling good. They've had the lead after so long. And off this kickoff, Marv has it. Awkward touch. Ditto might be here for the shot, but Marv stays on the ball. Good save after the little mistouch. Now it's going to go straight to Obi. Gets a touch, maybe to the backboard. But will he be able to follow? Close. Trini is there. Back to the backboard. Maybe Ditto can finish, but a little wide right. Trini does steal the boost. Back past the Obi. A little shot too wide and right to Chef. Now he's going to jump. Little fake. Nyx misses on 0. Ditto's going to stay on this play, but it's a double commit from the Lynx. We still try to get it mid, and it might work, but no. All of the Owls are there. And they're really getting this pressure from the Lynx right now.
Chef gets a good beat. However, Ditto is there. Past Nyx. Nyx gets a good bump. Marv on 0. So is Nyx. Puts it back on mid. Marv and Chef are up. Is this it? Off the post. Ditto gets a good clear. Chef is there, however. Gets a good interception, but it's no one's back. Ditto puts Lynx up by 2. They have flipped the script completely.
If that's not a textbook counterattack, I don't know what is. Barely off the post from Marv after the pass from Nyx, and then Ditto just slots it, putting the Lynx up by 2 goals in Game 5. An absolutely crucial game if you want to turn the series around. Now Ditto beating 1, but no one from the Lynx is there. Chef's going to get a free flip, but Trini is not going to get a free clear. Obi's going to be there. Little ghost touch, and Nyx routine save for him. Obi mid. Ditto is there, and the Lynx are looking like they were in what, Game 3 or Game 2? This is crazy.
I mean, Obi and Ditto, the 2 main mans in this series so far, linking up once again. Owls down by 3. Hopefully this isn't a repeat of Game 2. If you're an Owls fan, you're hoping that they come back, seal this game, because it seems that when Lynx ramp up pressure, they don't stop. They keep going. They keep forcing mistakes out of their opponents. Chef is up, beats one. That's what the Owls needed. Down only by 2 now.
And we've seen a couple of these goals in these games where last man kind of going a little late, just leaving the net open. Should probably stay back there from the Lynx, but they're up 2 with 2 minutes. They don't need another goal. They just have to keep pressure and keep the ball out of their net. Off kickoff is going to be pretty high. Nick is going to manage to get a touch, but now no one from the Owls is there. He's actually going to stay on. Good 50 from Ditto. Obi going to try to get a touch under him. Good 50 from Marv. Chef. Now Marv is just trying to be a nuisance in the corner. Kind of works. Makes Obi a little awkward. Misses the pinch, but does get it over Marv. Now Ditto's up. Going to beat Nyx. And Obi might try to get it mid. A little hard, and Trini can't get there in time. But he's going to try to keep the pressure in. Good 50 off the ceiling, but Chef is already up. Great beat from Chef. Chef is really playing good defensively this game.
Nyx gets a good touch out. However, Trini is there, gets a beat over one. Nyx has 0 boost, past one. Chef, awkward touch. Last man commits again. Can Owls put this mid? They need a pop over last. Pop over one. Marv is up already. Ditto is there for the clear. Here you go. He follows up. Nyx is last man back. Can he put this mid? Nyx gets not the best touch. Marv is there, however. Free counter attack. Chef needs to put it past one. Ditto, great interception as last man. However, straight back into Chef. Chef around one. Can Marv put this mid? Yes, he can. Nyx is already up. Obi is there. Great shot by Nyx. Only down by 1 now. A minute to go.
Good pop by Marv. Recognizes no one on the backboard. And Nyx, it's a great angle. And the Lynx just weren't expecting it. Trini was in the net with 0. Couldn't get to the save. And now the Lynx getting a little nervous as the Owls come in 1 goal behind after being down 4-1.
Here goes Chef. Right back into the backboard. Is anyone back for the Lynx? No one is not. Marv is up. Whiffed by both players. Chef puts it back mid. Obi has boost. Here you go with the possession. This is what I was talking about. Chef gets dunked. Nyx pops straight up. Not the best touch. He has to beat one. Ditto gets a good touch. Obi's going to commit. Chef gets a good save. Straight back down, however. Marv plays the possession. Gets dunked, though. Nyx is up. Ditto is up. Who can get the touch here? Ditto comes out on top. Still pressure from the Lynx. Not the best whiff. Here goes straight to Chef. Is this on? Chef ties the game. Owls with 6 seconds left tie the game. Are we seeing overtime, or are we seeing Owls continue this pressure to win the game in regulation?
I mean, what a read by Chef. Playing Ditto's pass to the mid. And now Lynx are actually clicking their boots, but maybe Obi gets one more chance before regulating. Go for the demo, but barely misses. That would have been a great play if he had made it. Now Trini's up, misses, and this might hit the floor, and it will. We have overtime in Game 5. The Lynx have thrown a 4-1 lead. Maybe they can make up and win it in this overtime.
Here goes Ditto. Popper one. Marv is there, however. Can he get the shot? It's a little wide. Obi is there. Gets the mid boost. Chef is a little awkward with 0. Does get an interception, however. Ditto straight out mid. Can he get the touch? No, Nyx is there. Nyx continues to stay on. He has options middle. Marv is there. Can he beat last? Straight down on the goal line.
Oh my goodness. Marv almost just called game out, an absolute banger. But the post has other plans. The post wants to keep this game going. So now it's on the outside. Marv, good clear. Dale trying to keep it in. Nyx clears it out. Marv is there, but Obi gets the 50. And now Chef is last back. Goes in for the 50. Ends up as a pass to Marv. He gets the mid, but Obi's just there. Over the backboard. Nyx is awkward. Ditto is there, but he hits a weak shot. And Trini backflip. It might be open for Marv. And he fakes. He fakes low and calls game.
Ale, ale, ale. Ale, ale, ale. Marv fakes out last. Gets this ball past the last defender as well. Owls win it in 5. This is what we